Good morning, everyone. We are the Group 2, and we will be reporting about the Quirino's administration.
So, good morning, everyone again. So, I am Jamila Custodio from Group 2, and now I'll be going to report the introduction of Quirino's administration. So, Elpidio Quirino, the President of the Philippines, was a prominent figure in the Philippine history, known for his unwavering commitment to public service and his dedication to nation building. So his presidency marked by a period of significant challenges, including the aftermath of World War II, and also the need of economic recovery. Next is early life and education of Elpidio Quirino. So Elpidio Quirino is from Vigan, Ilocos Sur. So his father worked in, I don't know what is like Persuhan, and then Elpidio Quirino is born in Persuhan. Maybe that time yung mama siguro dito sa iyang father kay dito man nagtrabaho, and then naabtan og labor yung mama adto og dito siya na anak sa Persuhan in November 16, 1890. So makita gyud nato no madili gikan sa Elpidio Quirino sa dato nga pamilya. Average pa sila, dili po ta makaingon nga pobre sila because iyang papa is nagtrabaho sa Persuhan. Even though ingana ra sila nga family, but Elpidio Quirino, grabe kayo kanang like kugihan kay siya, very talented, like kanang bright siya. That's why at the age of 16, Elpidio Quirino worked as a various school teacher. Imagine at the age of 16, and then at the age of 16, and then his monthly salary is 16 pesos para lang makatabang siya sa iyang family. And then Elpidio Quirino was graduated at Manila High, and then nag-graduate siya of college sa UP Diliman with a course of same as Rojas nga he is a politician, and then he is graduated of lawyer. So dili lang siya lawyer correct me if I'm wrong, but in 1915 dili lang siya nakapasa og bar exam, but he is a top 2 sa bar exam. So dili gyud nato maingon nga dugay siya makakitag trabaho kay he is a lawyer graduate, then UP Diliman pa gyud siya. That's why his first work is as a clerk. You know what as a clerk, guys? Yes, that is the first job as a clerk in Philippine Commission. So at that time, the Senate President that time is Manuel L. Quezon. So nakita ni Manuel L. Quezon nga grabe kaayo si Elpidio Quirino, no? At right siya na siya potential na as leader soon. So that's why Manuel L. Quezon kanang hired him as a secretary. That's why very close kaayo ni Elpidio Quirino and Manuel L. Quezon. Sumura na sila mag-ama. That's why ang tawag ni Elpidio Quirino ni Manuel L. Quezon is Papa. Hangtod ni abot ang time grabe na kayo sila ka close. Hangtod nga nakauna na si Elpidio Quirino masudlo niya ang political career.
Sir, signal.
So here na. So naka-decide na si Elpidio Quirino masudlo na niya ang pagka-political career. So Elpidio Quirino said to Manuel L. Quezon nga, Papa, I want to be like you. I want to serve my fellow Filipinos in a bigger way. Mo ay gisuggest ni Elpidio Quirino. But Manuel L. Quezon said, di ko gusto nga modagan ka kay lagi. Di siya ganahan nga malayo si Elpidio Quirino niya kay very na sila ka-close. Next, that's why Quirino's political career began in 1919 because gusto ni Quirino nga modagan siya as congressman sa Vigan, Ilocos Sur. Og dito nagusugod ang political career ni Elpidio Quirino. Okay, the next reporter is Aura Macalos. Siya will discuss about the term of Elpidio Quirino.
So let's move on and his background. Quirino's assumed presidency upon the death of President Manuel Rojas in 1948. He inherited a nation still reeling from the devastation of World War II, facing economic instability and struggling with the Hong-Balahak Communist insurgency. Quirino's first term was dominated by efforts to rebuild the nation infrastructures, promote economic growth, and combat the communist threat. He implemented several key initiatives, including the establishment of the National Economic Council to oversee economic recovery and the regulation of the Philippine Constabulary to strengthen national security. So his second term is Quirino won re-election in 1953, facing a strong challenge from Ramon Magsaysay. His second term was marked by the continued promotion of economic development and social worker programs. Quirino's second term saw a continuation of his effort to address the economic challenges facing the nation. He also expanded social welfare programs, including the establishment of social security system and the expansion of public health services. However, his administration faced criticism for its handling for the Hong-Balahak insurgency and perceived corruption. Good morning, everyone. So now I will be reporting about the problems and issues sa time during the Quirino's administration. So first is social inequality and limited land reform. So one of the pressing issues in the Philippines is the wide gap between rich landowners and impoverished tenant farmers. So during the Quirino's administration, ang mga farmers nga Pinoy were treated wala kitang gitrato og fair sa mga kanang tag-iyahan o kanang yuta or mga farm. So most were tenant farmers. So meaning they did not own the land. So kanang dili sila tag-iya sa land, sa bigat trabaho ra sila tenant sila and had to give a large part of their harvest to landowners as payment. So, ang ilang trabahuan, like for example, lahang mga na-harvest. So, most of siya kanang ihatag niya most of siya kanang ibuan sa landowners as a payment nila. So, muna siya social equality. So, next is public discontent and rising opposition. Public dissatisfaction with the Quirino administration handling of economic, social, and political issues contributed to the rising opposition. So, many Filipinos felt that Quirino's government was corrupt. So, daghang Pilipino nga gaduda nga during ni Quirino's time kanang corrupt siya. So, daghang corrupt kanaan. So, they believe that government leaders were handling money and favoring wealthy people. So, wala gitarong og handle ang kanang kwarta nga gihugtang sa mga leaders niya. Mas ipabura nila ang kanang mga dato bitaw nga wealthy people. Then this made public feel that the government cared more about the rich than about ordinary people's needs. So mo to mas ipabura lagi nila ang mga dato. So loy kay ta sa una kay murag sa daw sa mga dato bitaw. Then next, economic crisis. The war had devastated the Philippine economy. leaving the nation with depleted resources, high inflation, and widespread poverty. So during Quirino's administration, ang Pilipinas na-faced with serious economic crisis. So this was caused by several factors. So ang mag-mention ako one na factors, so daghan siya nga factors na. So a high inflation and rising prices. So ang mga price ko no sa una during the Quirino's administration ng pintaas bitaw, like ang mga basic goods like food and clothing went up lot during Quirino's time as Manila. So taas ang mga presyo sa mga sinina, mga pagkaon. So mo to, ang mga Pilipino nga sakto-sakto lang or kanang nanay kaya bayan na or mga nag-pre, dili sila kayo ma-afford sa mga palipunan kaya mo rin naglaan ang mga presyo. So mo to siya.
Okay, so one of the issues and problems faced by Quirino during his administration was the Hukbalahap insurgency. Hukbalahap, a communist elite guerrilla group that had fought against the Japanese during the war, transitioned into a formidable insurgency after the war. So, kanang Hukbalahap means Hukbong Bayan Laban sa Hapon. So, one group na siya nga fight against sa mga Japanese. Third against the Philippine government because they didn't get the land and rights they wanted. So imagine, ang mga farmers nag-struggle sila sa nila pag-survive sa ilang mga gamay ra nga juta, while ang mga wealthy kay kanang wealthy landowners controlled vast states. They exploited by the landowners and then by the Japanese during World War II. So, ang mga poor nga mga landowners sa una, gipahimos lang sila sa mga kanang wealthy nga landowners o mga Japanese during the World War II. So, after the war, the government doesn't address their problem. So, pag kumana itong war, huwag yung maghihatagan o pagtagad ang ilahang problema. And then, still they are exploited and the government even tries to disarm them, so they rebel again. So nilabay gihapon sila kay huwag gyud gitagan og pagdagad ang ilahang problema. Then the rebellion lasts for years, but eventually the government with US help fought back hard. But the new leader, Ramon Magsaysay, tried to make things better. Pag si Ramon na, ito naghihatagan og pagdagad ang mga problems sa mga poor nga mga farmers. Even ang mga hook fighters, ito naghatangan og chance para mabalik sila sa ilahang normal na life. Next is the political corruption. The administration faced accusations of corruption which contributed to a decline in public trust. So, Elpidio Quirino time as president remembered for widespread corruption. His government was accused of manipulating the election to ensure his re-election, and many officials were involved in taking bribes and abusing their power. So, wala pa kay na vote buying si Quirino. Daghan pa ang naamong kay ito gagi panghatagan. So, moto, the corruption hurt the country's economy and caused people to lose faith in the government. So, lawat na sila pag-asa kay. It even fueled a rebellion by the Hukbalahap. So, nikusag ang Hukbalahap ang hingatay. Of Quirino's presidency is a reminder of how corruption can damage a nation. Of Quirino's administration God is the dirtiest election in the Philippine history. Of daghang consequences of corruption during Quirino's administration, the public's disappointment with Quirino's administration ultimately lead to his defeat. Tungkol sa iyang pagkakurang, kanang wala ni salit ang mga tao ni Ja. Kanang mo to pag ni lansan na si Ramon Magsaysay, mo si siya na ini daag. Next is the US influence. What man? the power to push for specific reforms and policies kung asa tanaw nila maka-benefit sila sa ilang mga interest. And then the military support during Quirino administration nag-rely hapon sa US for the military assistance. Nag-create o nag-provide equipment to the Philippine Armed Forces.
We have here about Quirino's contribution. So, President Elpidio Quirino died in office in the Philippines in 1948 to 1950 was important for several reasons. He worked on rebuilding the country after World War II. Quirino focused on repairing the construct roads, bridges, and buildings to help the country recover from wars. So, he also worked on policy to boost economic, to improve the economy. Quirino established the SSS, or Social Security System, to provide financial support and benefits to workers. He addresses the housing crisis by creating affordable houses option for many Filipinos. Quirino also addressed strategic relationship with United States or US by signing a defense treaty ensuring support and cooperation between two countries. And last is education. He made significant improvement in education system, aiming to provide better opportunities for students. And also, one of the last is about Bao Mr. Na. Kaya betong, di betong sang lawsuit na mga attorney na betong na pwede ka mo do sa Bao may tawag na niya. Pwede mag doon na kay libre naman si Ja. Sumunod ay lang ang contribution din.
So we have here the Quirino legacies. So in Quirino legacies, it was in his presidency. It was a period of both progress and struggle for the Philippines. His legacy is a mix of progress and setbacks. He helped the Philippines transition from a war-torn nation to a new era. Ibago ang ang Philippines ugbangon with the help of Quirino. So and then even though they face the challenges like atong Hukbalahap insurgency which leads into kailangan land reform, kailangan ng pagbabago sa pagmamayari ng lupa sa Tagalog. Pagmamayari ng lupa, and then his presidency is marked by also corruption mo bitang ang mga tao kay kanang nawad-an na kanang saling sa mga leaders kay corrupt ang mga leaders. And then but in his administration, the Quirino's presidency saw the rise of local political parties niya ning ani nga period time ni Quirino na ani karapitan ang mga bae unya ning active na ang mga mamamayan, ang mga tao sa kanang atoang country. And then sa overall of his legacies, presidency was a significant and complicated time for the Philippines, setting the stage for future developments and changes.
Okay, everyone. So before we end, I would like to share about Elpidio Quirino, the conclusion of our report here. So Elpidio Quirino is one of the di ba, brutality kayo ang gibuhat sa Japan nato. But si Elpidio Quirino ra ang naghatag og forgiveness sa Japan. Pagkasaka niya nga pagka-president ni Quirino said nga ang 100,000 kapin nga Japanese even nga ipatay iyahang pamilya, iyang mga anak, iyahang giingon nga ipabalik ang mga taga-Hapon sa Japan. That's why, and then many people asking him nga, nganong imo ba ipabalik ang mga taga-Hapones adto sa Japan nga mao ni gapatay silang pamilya, and then grabe kaayo ang gibuhat diri sa Philippines. But Quirino remain silently. And then, daw siya Amerikano, paopera siya, o dito niya gisuwat ang reason why nanong iyang gipa-dok ang taga-Japanese dito sa Japan. That's why, guys, kung mudong mo sa Japan, mudong mo sa part nila, only Quirino ang naang